Proposal for later school start times could see Duval County high schoolers getting out of schools after their parents get off work. Duval County Schools released a survey with 4 ideas with later high school start times due to a new state law. Zach Wilcox joins us live now from Fletcher High School in Neptune Beach, and 2 of the proposals have students getting out of most high schools after 5 o'clock. That's late for a lot of families.
Yeah, Jeannie, just think of it this way. Folks would have probably just made it through this car line here at Fletcher High School because it would have let out at 5:15 under 2 of these proposals. Now, this idea stems from lawmakers seeing some research that students, particularly older students, perform better if they're able to sleep in. But I tell you what, some of the parents we talked to today, they told us they're losing sleep over figuring out how their schedules are going to be impacted by this.
Not sure how that's going to work.
Jeff Purcell says he and his wife planned their days around making sure they can get their 2 kids to and from school.
Made our schedules where I can pick him up, and then we rely on him to be home to pick up our daughter out of elementary school. So we lose our babysitter, and I don't know how we'd work with all of our work schedules.
A new Florida state law will require school districts to start middle school no earlier than 8 and high school to start no earlier than 8:30 to encourage students to get more sleep. Duval County school leaders are trying to figure out how to make that work with bus schedules, so they came up with 4 plans for parents to weigh in on. 2 of those plans would start high schoolers' days at 10:30, more than 3 hours later than they currently do, and have them get out at 5:15. Magnet high schools like Wolfson would possibly get out as late as 6:30.
The kids do too many things after school, now they're not going to be able to. He's usually at work by 3:30, 4 o'clock to be ready for the dinner rushes, and now that's going to impact businesses on top of it.
We have to start off by thinking about what's great for the kids, but if we lose track of what's good for the people who serve those kids.
Michael Detcher is a high school teacher with Duval County, and he's concerned about what such a drastic change could mean for teacher recruitment and retention. However, he doesn't think the research about the benefit for students should totally be disregarded.
We moved some of the core classes that were needed for graduation, instead of being first block to second block. It helped a lot of kids come to those classes that they desperately need awake and on time instead of late every day.
Purcell says he's waiting to see which option gets picked before rearranging his schedule.
It'll be dramatic, I know that, on the people.
Now, I want to point out this doesn't just apply to Duval County schools because this is a state law, so other school districts are going to have to consider it too, and they have to make these changes in time for the 2026-2027 school year. So we have a little bit of time, but not a ton. In Neptune Beach, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.